When I ask my friends who are protesting down at ICE or at other locations where it is likely that Immigration and Customs Enforcement or Customs and Border Patrol will use chemical agents against them, including green gas, which our military can't use against foreign combatants because it would constitute a war crime, that's chemical warfare, but federal agents can use it against American citizens. They've been using it against Portlanders for many months, and they're now using it in Minnesota. When I ask these folks, what kinds of supplies can you use? What would be helpful for you? On that list, there's always water to rinse tear gas out of folks' eyes. And I know that some folks use jugs of milk to rinse their eyes, but I really would encourage you to heed the advice here of one of my favorite physicians on social media.
Hey, so if you get pepper sprayed, first, don't rub your eyes. Like, don't do this. That's just going to make the inflammation worse. Then you want to irrigate your eyes. Now, pepper spray is oil-based, so ideally you'd have a big bottle of water with baby shampoo mixed in. It's a mild soap. We actually prescribe baby shampoo to clean eyelids for people, so it's safe for the ocular surface. Something like dish soap is going to be more caustic to the surface of the eyes. Try to avoid that if you can. But a big bottle of water mixed with baby shampoo, and that'll help clear out that oil. Some people talk about using yogurt or milk to rinse out the eyes, and I guess that's possible, but keep in mind that pepper spray can cause corneal abrasions, which is where you lose the surface layer of cells from your cornea, which is extremely painful, but also increases the cornea's risk of infection. And there can be some harmful bacteria in milk products, so I'd avoid that. Now, it takes planning to make sure you have at least a liter of soapy water mixture with you when you're going to a protest, or commuting to work, walking your dog, checking the mail, leaving your house for any reason whatsoever, even just sitting quietly in your home, making breakfast, watching TV, any place where you might conceivably be pepper sprayed in the United States. If you find yourself in the vicinity of pepper spray and have nothing else, just irrigate your eyes with water. Just pour water in your eyes, at least a liter. Don't rub your eyes, and try to position your head to where the water and oil doesn't get into your nose and mouth. Be safe out there.
When we're looking at the various chemical agents that are being deployed against protesters, there's pepper spray, there's tear gas, which is actually several different kinds of gas that can be used, and there's green gas. But my best understanding for all of those agents, if you get them in your eyes, is that you need to flush your eyes vigorously for 10 to 15 minutes. Pepper spray made with capsaicin is oil-based, and I thought this was such great advice to use shampoo, specifically baby shampoo. You don't have to use Johnson & Johnson, they're an evil corporation. Get the generic brand. As somebody who has ocular rosacea, which is an autoimmune disease that attacks my eyelids and my eyes, I have to use baby shampoo every day to wash my eyelids. It doesn't hurt. It works great. Don't be afraid to use it if you get tear gas or pepper spray in your eyes. And speaking of using tear gas and other unknown chemical agents against Americans in American cities.
Coward! Preschool, you stupid motherfuckers!
I don't know if you saw this footage from Minnesota where federal agents are using tear gas against preschoolers at a preschool. I think we know by now that there's no line that they won't cross. There's no depths to which they will not sink. There's no level of inhumanity that they will not embrace. And it's easy to get disheartened in these moments and see these kinds of attacks on innocent civilians, right? Be they immigrants, be they elderly, be they little children, no matter who it is. Pretty much everybody that Jesus in the Bible calls the least of these, that is who fascists target. That's who Immigration and Customs Enforcement is targeting. I've probably already made a dozen videos on the pure hypocrisy of MAGA Christians, so I won't do that again here. But please know, the hypocrisy is always there. But while the lawless, violent criminals calling themselves federal agents in Minnesota show us the worst of humanity, Minnesotans are showing us the best. In response to ICE tear gassing a preschool, what happened? Regular, ordinary, everyday people took it upon themselves to defend little children.
Hey, this is a preschool, you stupid motherfuckers!
This This is why I'm always saying it really doesn't matter that much what the regime does. Fascists are going to use a fascist playbook. They're going to dehumanize us. They're going to brutalize us. That's a given. We know what they're going to do. They're going to continue to escalate in a desperate attempt to seize control because all they know is threats, intimidation, and violence. So honestly, it doesn't really matter that much what they do. It matters so much how we respond. And Minnesotans are showing us, y'all, day in and day out, they are showing us how to respond. They're showing us how to embrace our humanity, to be courageous on behalf of our neighbors. Minnesotans are getting real good at throwing the tear gas canisters back, and ICE is still not figured out that that's a thing that people are doing. These folks built a barricade out of garbage cans to protect children in a preschool from being attacked by ICE. Regular, ordinary people are willing to go to extraordinary lengths to take care of each other. And I know it can feel really bleak. I know it can feel really terrible when you are just inundated with video after video after video of men who are American citizens brutalizing and murdering fellow Americans. Men who don't see us as human beings at all. They have so fully dehumanized us that they can gun us down in the street and then have no problem doing it. The day that Alex Preddy was murdered in the street, protesters outside of the hotel in Minneapolis caught on tape an ICE agent mooning protesters at a vigil at outside the hotel room. This is just the level of sheer callousness. And I don't know, I'm probably going to do a Substack post on this tomorrow or the next day. I'm really struggling with how we address the kind of dehumanization that's happening on such a massive scale from the far right. It's not really our job to fix these guys or to help them reconnect with their humanity, although on some level it's crucial that they do so. Dehumanization is the beginning of every war crime, of every genocide, of every war, of every system of oppression. Those in power get other folks to fully dehumanize vulnerable people, to dehumanize their neighbors, even their own family members, so that they can commit violence against them and not have the kind of psychological damage that drives them crazy, right? So that they can continue to exist. They can continue to, that's the banality of evil, right? Your brain and your psyche have to normalize what you're doing. And the easiest way for you to not go mad with the kind of horrific acts your people in fascist regimes support and enable is to dehumanize other people. If the person that you're gunning down in the street is not a human being, but is an Antifa terrorist, is a woke liberal, as Jonathan Ross said of Renee Good, is a bitch, not a human being, is an illegal instead of an immigrant, when Jesus said, love the foreigner in your land, treat them as you would treat the native born, and do not despise them. When you can fully dehumanize other people, you can do horrible, horrible things to them, even to little children, and be okay with it. The reason that this that's happening right now in the United States is eating all of us up is because we have not gone through that process of learning how to dehumanize other people, and instead we are embracing our humanity. We are leaning into and cultivating our empathy, cultivating our connection to other people. That's our strength. That's our power right there. Dehumanization is a death spiral for the individual who engages in it and for a society that embraces it. Or in this instance, a failing regime that embraces it when the rest of society says, no, we're going to reject this, and instead we're going to honor and see, whether you want to say the image of God, whether you want to say the life force, whether you want to say the essence of humanity in another person, embracing other people and embracing our connection to them, learning to cultivate that sense of empathy. That's the way that we're going to get out of this. And the fact that they're choosing dehumanization and violence, they're gassing innocent people, using chemical warfare against little children. These men will not succeed. This regime will not succeed. As the good folks of Minnesota are showing us, it's because we won't let them succeed.